All right, in this quick lesson, we are going to get some practice working with negative exponents. So this problem here says select the equivalent expressions. Now, normally this would be a multiple choice question where you would select the right answer, but we're simply going to simplify this expression in order to find an equivalent expression. All right, so when we work on this one, I'm going to give me some more room. So here we have, in the numerator, we have x to the third times x to the negative 2 divided by x to the negative 3. All right. There are different ways that we could solve this problem. All right, but we are going to work with the numerator separately. This says x to the third times x to the negative 2. So one thing we do here is we're multiplying these variables that are the same and they have exponents. So we learned from our previous lesson that we add those. So that would be 3 plus negative 2 or 3 minus 2. So really in the exponent, or in the numerator, I'll go ahead and write it out. This is going to be x to the 3 minus 2. We're actually adding them, but because it's a negative 2, we end up subtracting. And then, of course, we have x to the negative 3 here. All right, so now we're going to end up with x in the numerator over x to the negative 3. All right, well, now we have a division problem where we have x with an exponent of 1 divided by x with an exponent of negative 3. Well, remember, when you divide with exponents, you subtract the exponents. So this is going to be 1 minus negative 3. All right, but when we work that out, though, we're going to end up with x, and we're going to subtract the exponent. So that's 1 minus negative 3. And 1 minus negative 3 is the same as saying positive 3. So it's x plus 3. So that's going to simply be x to the 4th power. So x to the 4th power would be your answer. Now, like I said, there's different ways to work this problem out. So let me go ahead and rewrite it here. So let's say we have x to the third times x to the negative 2. I just want to show you an additional way to solve this, okay? So remember that I said in the previous video that when you have a negative exponent, it ends up being 1 over x to the positive exponent in the denominator. So really, anytime you have a variable with a negative exponent, you can simply move it to the denominator by making it the opposite. And it's also true that if you have a negative exponent in the denominator, you can move it to the top and make it positive. So we could rewrite this as x to the third times x to the third divided by x squared. Again, all I did is take the x to the negative 2 and moved it down into the denominator, x to the positive 2. And I moved the x to a negative 3 in the denominator up and made it x to the positive 3. All right. Now we apply our rules. When you multiply powers, you add the exponent. So that's x to the 3 plus 3. So x to the 3 plus 3 becomes x to the 6th divided by x squared. And then when you divide exponents, you subtract. 6 minus 2 is 4. So that's going to end up being x to the 4th. Again, same answer, just a different way to solve it.